Many of us don't realize that, but I think that who we think we are is not entirely correct or truthful, or is not exactly that. Let me explain. So uh, around a year ago, I think I was always trying to look inwards, trying to understand why I am the way I am, right? Why am I making such decisions, or why am I attracting such people in my life? And more and more I would inquire, it would more and more reveal to me that it's actually it's actually not me who is doing all things. Well, I mean, I may be the one who's executing them, but it's not coming directly from me, from my being, from who I truly am. And to name the problem here, I am convinced that majority of people throughout their entire lifetimes, they act out of their own trauma. They do not act from the place of being who they truly are. Because I do not think that who they truly are is bad. I do not think that we as humans are inherently bad. I do think that at the core, there are only the positive things that we have. However, due to the nature of the world, we are inflicting pain, we are being inflicted pain upon. So we constantly, this is like a constant whirlwind of hurt, right? You are being hurt, you hurt in return, and it's been like that for generations and generations on end. And only now, again, as I want to reiterate my previous point from the previous video, where I said that we are lucky to be this comfortable, and I do believe it. That is true. We do not have to fight for survival anymore as our ancestors had to. Because, I mean, if you do not have bread on your table, if you do not have roof over your head, what fucking emotional intelligence do we speak about, right? We need to, first things first. Yeah, but now, since I think we feel pretty comfortable in ourselves, in our own, environments, respective environments. We do have time, we do have energy, we do have space for self-inquiry, for looking inwards, for, I don't know, for thinking about things. So let's think then. Let us think about things. And for those who already do think, it might come as a surprise, but naming things does not remove them. And that was the first, I think, biggest letdown for me on this, I think, whatever you might want to call it, like self-healing journey or whatever, or self-actualization, self-realization journey, where no matter how, let's say, self-aware you are, no matter how well you can pinpoint what exactly is going on, sadly it's still not enough to make it go away. And that is, I think, that grinds my gears a lot. How come, oh, I'm so smart, oh, I'm so self-aware, I can do it better than the rest, but then I am the one who's suffering the most. I mean, allegedly, right? Of course, my suffering is mine, and I do see it in full picture, while I don't see a suffering of other people. But I do realize other people are suffering as well, even if they don't show it. So then, what I came here with you, what I came with here to you today, is that I wanted to say that you are not compelled to always act out of your trauma. And I know it sounds easy, but I think that you also have to, I don't know, like take this thing seriously, really. Because, I mean, hear me out. The trauma that has been given to you, no matter how big or small, I feel like it impacts your life to the point where every single action you take is out of that trauma. The dreams you see, the subconscious you meet there in those dreams, the fantasies you have, the sexual fantasies you may have, the patterns of behavior with loved ones, with friends, with parents, the way you act out in real life, I feel like 99% of that comes entirely from the things that you learned. You didn't learn it willingly, though. I would rather flip the script and I would say that they were taught to you. And by things that are taught to you, I mean the traumas, right? The not truths about you, about the world, about how things work. Because, I mean, on paper, I know that I am supposed to be loved. I'm supposed to be worthy of, like, let's say, love or attention or anything for that matter, right? It's like I am one of you guys. I am one of the people here on this planet, and by definition, by default, I am special, I'm unique, I'm valued, I'm loved, I'm cared for. I have not only like I am loved right now, I have the possibility of being loved, right? So I have that capacity that by being myself, I am loved already. Yeah, right. So you do have that. But these things I think are at your core, and saying them out loud is a good exercise, but however, it's not enough. It's remotely not enough, even though it's a good start. And another thing is that you have heard those things like countless times, but you know how hard it is to believe them, truly. You think you believe them until you don't, right? Until you still act out of, I don't know, let's say your anxious attachment or your, what is the other one? I forgot, right? Like with distant, whatever, right? So it's like that, another type of attachment, right? So you still act out of your like impulses. You may intellectualize things. You may sit down and rationalize and say, okay, here I'm loved, here I'm cared, I walk away, blah, 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 blah. I walk away from people who don't, respect me enough, or they don't give me what I want. But when you come to an actual scenario where you have to execute, you still fall into the trap of your past actions, because familiar pain is always closer to you than unfamiliar happiness, or unfamiliar choosing yourself, or unfamiliar walking away, or unfamiliar focusing on yourself. So those things are right. So those things are not bad. It's just that you don't know how to do them. You have never done them, hence they do not hold up on the same scale for you. Yeah, so like my central point of the video is that you are not those things that have been taught to you throughout, let's say, your childhood, your earlier stages of your development, where you are most susceptible, where you are most grasping, where you're just learning about the world, and people, knowingly or unknowingly, people around you, people supporting you, you're like, the primary institution, like let's say being family, then let's say being like friends from, I don't know, playground or something, right? So it's like slowly you're growing, and you do realize, you do understand, you do learn about the world the way it is presented to you, right? Because I mean, we humans, we are survival machines, right? And we have to learn, and we have to grasp, and we have to understand what's going on. And if you have been from the early childhood put in the framework where you are not chosen, you are not loved, you are not valued enough, you do not see that you being supported, right? You do not see yourself being cared for enough. Well, you learn those things, and then you take them as truth. You take them, that you see that's how the world works. That's my place in it, being disregarded, right? And your whole life unconsciously act out of that. You think that, well, I'm just another, I don't know, cog in the machine or something, and then I am not to be loved deeply. And people who say that they love me, they're lying actually, and they will walk out on me the better, as soon as possible. The first chance they get, or they meet somebody better than me, they'll just fucking storm out right off, which is again like a nice pathway, a nice bridge here into a thought that life is actually how you make it. And I do think that's really important to realize, that I think that life is truly how you make it. You see what you want to see. You train your brain to recognize what you want to recognize. And again, that's, everyone's telling you about rewiring your brain and everything, but it's like, if you focus on the bads, on the negatives, on the letdowns, on the disappointments, you will ultimately see more of those. And I don't mean to say that you have to become like this, like stupidly overly positive to the point where it's like fake and you don't believe it yourself. But all I'm saying is that you as a person and me, we all deserve to feel good. We all deserve our share of happiness. And we just have to be welcoming of it at any point of time. I think that the process of getting there is really difficult. It really makes you think a lot. But at the same time, it's not that deep. It can't be that deep. If I would to say, like, if I would to, let's say, sum up this video in like let's say 2 sentences, these are the things I would say. So the first one is that you are definitely not your trauma. That's not who you really are. And I think that your lifetime is let's say could be a proof of that. It's not a proof, but it could be. And what I mean by that is, you have the resources, the tools, the ability, the support group, which might not even be there yet, but you are capable of producing that, of creating that. You have potentially all those tools to uncover your true original self. And that's not some spiritual BS talk here, really. It's just that the things people taught you about yourself are not correct, because nobody knows you as much as you do. And even if you don't know yourself that well, you always can learn more. You always have the ability to learn, to rediscover, to unfold your true original self. And here and there you will see what kind of person you really are, What do you enjoy doing? And I would venture to guess that I think on the on the deepest layers, somewhere on the core, we all, all of us, we just want to frolic around really in the forest, just playing along with bunnies or something. We all want to give love. We want to receive love. We all want to just share and enjoy and like rejoice in community and just be. And I think that's just, I genuinely think that that's at the core of who we are. All that like extraneous bad, let's say, shit or other like bullshit that's just around us orbiting constantly, I feel that's just like centuries of unprocessed trauma and guilt and shame and whatever, just somehow tied by the whole, held by us now. It's been passed on through generations and generations and generations of people who I can't blame, because they were trying to survive. They were trying to build this world as we know it right now. But we do have the abilities, the mind, the free time, the space to actually do something about it. We do know that trauma is carried to, I don't know, 6 or 7 generations in our DNA. So, I mean, let's get to work, right? Let's try to fix it. Let's figure it out. I do genuinely believe that not any of us are our traumas. And it's okay to be mad about it. It's okay to be upset about it. And that's not it's not a beautiful picture at all. It's the messiest, nastiest, filthiest, fucking longest exercise ever in the world. It's not pretty at all. Healing from your trauma is exhausting, it's brutal, it's tough. And it gets boring, it gets repetitive when every time, every social situation, a new person comes and you recognize that again you attracted someone, let's say from your past, with similar traits, I mean to say, for like people from your past, and you are trying to heal and you are trying to move on, but it comes again and again and again, and you see dreams and you think thoughts, and it's all the same, and it gets repetitive and it gets boring and it gets tiring. And you understand where you come from, you understand where your trauma lies, you understand what you were not given enough. And the world is showing you that again and again and again and again. And you are like powerless. Oh my God, what the fuck am I supposed to do with all this? I get it, I do, I really get it. And here where it gets funny, because you're actually kind of supposed to give it all to yourself. Like whatever you have not been given before, whatever those people who are around you didn't give you, you have to give it all to yourself now. And that's a whole other fucking task. That's a whole other fucking issue. Because it's not easy at all. It's not easy to just start and start giving out of nowhere. Yeah, but that's a whole another point. That's a whole another video. So yeah, that's I think yeah. So my cornerstone here, the central point, is that you have to honestly, truly, and like sincerely realize that you as a person, as a being, as whoever you are, you genuinely are not your trauma. And while you may be, let's say, enslaved by it for now, you do not have to belong to it forever. And there is a way to change. You can change. You can discover your true self. But that takes work and lots of time.